Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my world. Lorrie here on Vancouver Island. And if you're new here, this is a Shed Wars 21 video. And if you don't know what Shed Wars is, it is a worldwide gardening collaboration of people who want to help other people learn more about growing food. So I am a new gardener, and it's got everybody from new gardeners like myself. This is only my second year gardening. My friend Nisi, Freehandling Maid AU, this is going to be her first year gardening. And there are gardeners who have been gardening for 30 plus years. So it's a wonderful collaboration of a lot of people who have a lot of knowledge to share. And so this is my weekly update. And thank you for coming and hanging out and saying hello. I appreciate every single second that you spend with me. So let's get to the garden. So here is going to be my squash bed. And I've just put down my cardboard so far, and I've soaked it once. I'm going to soak it at least, actually I've soaked it twice. I'm going to soak it at least one more time before I put all of this bark down on top of it. And then after that, I have a couple of bags of dirt that are going to go on top of it. So I'll be back to show you what that all looks like. And there you have it. A brand new, beautiful planting bed all ready to go. I just need to wait a couple more weeks before I plant anything in it. So, but yeah, soon we'll be throwing a couple of squash in there and we'll see what happens. Things are coming along in the garden. Yesterday, I planted all of my beans. And so I planted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different types of beans. So I planted a Gold Rush yellow and a Speedy, which is a green, and those are for eating fresh, and that's like in this half of the bed. And then I did drying beans up in this half of the bed, some black turtle, some pinto beans, and some cassoulet beans that that I have going on down here. And so I planted them all because the drying beans take about 90 days. So they'll be there all summer. And then these ones here are more speedy. They take about 60 days. So when I harvest these out, I can maybe put some brassicas or something in there for fall. So we'll see. I'm trying to plan ahead. And now let's see, over here I've got lots of onions coming up. Lots and lots of onions. My leeks are starting to poke their little heads out. And I just put 2 of my bush tomatoes here. And I threw some basil in there. So I'm going ahead and planting my tomatoes out today. All of them that I've got already started. Except for that huge giant one, of course. I've got spots for them to go into the garden. Some to climb. Some of them are bushes, so they don't need to climb. They just might need a little bit of support. So, yeah, but I looked at the 2-week forecast, and although we do have some rainy days, we don't have a single night that's going below 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So I don't have to worry about any frost or any freezing, and that temperature should be plenty fine for my tomatoes. So I'm going to go ahead and plant them out. And then should we get some weird frost in the middle of May, then I'll worry about that as, you know, when that happens, if that happens. So we'll see. But yeah, we're planting. All right, these are my tips for planting tomatoes, not potatoes. For one, dig a nice deep hole and then toss a raw egg down in there and break it. And then trim off, you can see I've trimmed off the leaves up here to a good spot, quite a ways up. All of these little hairs here are going to turn into roots. on my plant. So I want to dig it and bury it deep. So there, that's going to go down to there. I'm going to fill that dirt in, and we'll have planted 3 more tomatoes. You know me, I can't stand to touch dirt with my hands, so I'm going to come in here with the gloves. And these, again, like I said, these are a bush tomato, so I really shouldn't need, I might need to put a couple of posts up here for support for them, but they shouldn't need my trellises like my other ones will. So yeah, here we go, tomatoes. Oh, and I like to put basil by my tomatoes, so I'm gonna grab some basil seeds and throw them down right in here, right in between those 2 tomatoes. And this is the base honey made for our new shed. Goes down a foot into the dirt. Because we don't want it to blow away. That's my honey. It'll be there forever once he puts it up, I tell you what. So somebody recently made a comment about how neat and tidy my beds look. And I have to tell y'all, it's a little deceiving. I think they call it the lasagna method of gardening and putting dirt in. And so the reason my beds look so nice and tidy is because I had a good 3 inches of dirt put into the top of every bed on top of everything from last year that grew. And then my beds are also hugelkultur beds. So if you go back and look, I do have a video of us filling this one right here. And yeah, it shows what we put in there. There's like logs and cardboard. There's like a couple layers of cardboard, and then there's a bunch of logs and twigs, and then there's some compost that we threw in there, and then dirt, and then hay, and then dirt, and then hay, and grass, and just all kinds of stuff. And so you can see over here, here's one that I left from last year. I didn't actually get any dirt added to this one this year. So you can still see my row of mulch on top of everything. Well, I'm going to put some of my climbing tomatoes here because I didn't have tomatoes in this bed last year. I had cucumbers and beans. So I'm going to go ahead and do you love my little rake? It's actually, listen to that, it's metal. It's actually a metal rake. It's not a little plastic toy. It just looks like one. I have a whole set of these tools that we got especially for my garden. And this here is my one onion that came up from last year, so I moved it so I wouldn't dig it in. But anyway, I'm going to get this bed ready. So I'm going to dig, I'm going to dig this hay in a bit. And then I'm going to bring in some more dirt and put it on top of it, some dirt and some compost, and then I'm putting my tomatoes in there, in the back there, my climbing ones. And so yeah, I'll be back when I've done that. There you have them, and they're buried in that straw, same stuff I used last year, so if you're interested you can have a look. And yeah, I've got, those are my soaker hoses that I use in my garden. And so these things that I put down here tend to not need as much water as these things as I put down here. But yeah. Did I mention I have a lot going on? Anyway, yeah, that's where my garden sits today. Tomorrow is going to be my grow something from the store video. And I still have my spaghetti sauce video that I need to put up one of these days when I don't have another video to put up that's gardening related. But yeah, so Thanks again so much for coming and watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't, you should subscribe. It's free all week. It's free all this week. Go ahead and subscribe. That'd be fantastic. And give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. You know, if you didn't like the content and it wasn't very useful to you, then, you know, go ahead. Do what your heart tells you to do. I will see you soon. Take great care of yourself. Bye now.